I want to ask you just a little bit about Russia itself. What surprises you from what you're hearing from Russia today?
So I do talk to Russians every single day. Just minutes ago, in fact, somebody in Moscow. I talk to Russians that have left the country, and political people as well as economic people. I would say a couple of things. One, and this I'm just reporting what one of my long-term colleagues said, not an opposition figure, somebody who worked in the government for many, many years. He said to me, Mike, this is a war that there's no winners from inside Russia. Literally not a single person. So he started with Putin. Does Putin look, is he stronger or weaker as a result of this war? Domestically, he's weaker. Reputationally around the world, he's much weaker. So he's a loser. The military guys, the generals, obviously this is a disaster for them. And there's a lot of finger pointing going on with the intelligence services that they believe that the intelligence people drag them into this war with bad information. And then the intelligence folks, so the people close to Putin, he's a former intelligence officer, KGB guy, they look bad because they miscalculated on how the Ukrainians were going to fight. They miscalculated on who was going to support them inside Ukraine. They grossly miscalculated their assessments of the Biden administration in the West. They look bad. Oligarchs. This is horrible. There's not a single economic actor in Russia that thinks this is good. This is a complete disaster for them. The middle class, in the major cities, this is horrible for them. So maybe, the babushkas in Siberia that are believing Putin's propaganda, they're getting a bit of a charge about this, that we're back in the fight. But my sense is that this is a pretty catastrophic failure that most people think in those terms. And the question is, how long will it remain, this catastrophic event?
As long as Putin is there, in your view, any way out of this for the Russians?
Yeah, I think Putin can sue for peace. He gets to define victory whatever way he wants. He could agree to some kind of partition of Ukraine. Whether the Ukrainians will agree to it anymore, as we talked earlier, I'm not so sure. I think he can do that. But then he's just kind of a lame duck. I've known Putin for a long time. We met in 1991. I wrote my first piece warning the West about his autocratic ways in March of 2000. So my views on Putin are pretty clear. They have been for decades. But I think you have to say fairly that before this war, he might have been remembered as the Russian leader that restored Russia as a great power. Russians before this war were richer than maybe any time in their history, by the way. And he kind of restored that, stability inside the country. And I really think he threw it away in this war. I just don't think he will be remembered that way ever again. And I don't think he'll ever get back, that kind of support he had domestically. And, I could be wrong about this part. It's a conversation for another time, Ian, about what it means for his reputation internationally. But, I speak to Chinese and Indians and people from Africa and Middle East pretty regular basis like you do. I haven't found many people that think, oh my gosh, doesn't Putin look like he's really great, strong leader. Look at what he's done in Ukraine. He's a guy I want to stand next to. He's a guy I want to be allied with. I don't feel that. I see a lot of neutral space, right? We don't want to be part of this war. Indians, people from the Middle East, Africa, but not many people thinking, oh my goodness, Putin, he's a great strategic genius. I want to be closer to him. That's not a sentiment I encounter very often.